In square ABCD, point M is the midpoint of side AB, and point N is the midpoint of side BC. What is the ratio of the area of triangle AMN to the area of the square ABCD? Alright, and we're supposed to express our answer as a common fraction. So let's first of all draw a picture. Let's draw a square. Alright, so there's our square, sort of square. And let's label the vertices A, B, C, and D. And we're told that M is the midpoint of AB. Okay, so there's M. And N is the midpoint of BC, so this is N. And then, let's see, we gotta draw a triangle, right? So this is a triangle that goes from this AMN, right? So AMN. Alright, so there's the triangle we're looking at right there. AMN. And we want to find the ratio of that triangle to the whole thing. Alright, well, there's a couple different ways you could do this. Probably more than a couple. But I'll show you a couple different ways you could do this. I could just make the side length x, just an arbitrary x. And I know that the area of the square is just x squared, right? X squared. Alright. And, okay, so I know this is the midpoint. M is the midpoint, so this length here is 1/2 x, and n is also a midpoint, so this is 1/2 x. Okay, so if I do the 1/2 base times height to get the area of the triangle, let's write that out. Area of the triangle, that would be 1/2 times the base, which is 1/2 x, times the height, which is 1/2 x. Okay, so if we take 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, we get 1/8. And then we have x times x, so we have x squared. All right. So now you can see we could do we could take the ratio of the triangle to the square, and we get 1/8 x squared over x squared. X squared over x squared is 1, so our ratio is 1/8. All right, that's one way you could do it. You might also notice if you, okay, so this is the midpoint, so I can divide the square in half across this line here. And I can see that the area, see this diagonal from A to N is half of this lower half, okay? So I know that this is 1/4 of the area of this AXN is 1/4 of the whole area, right? Because I've taken this xn divides it in half, and then this an divides that half into half, so that's 1/4. I can also draw I can divide the square in half this way. I know that I can look at this square. This is this square here. Let me mark it in red here. This square here is 1/4 of the whole thing. Okay? And this diagonal, MN, divides that 1/4 into 1/2, right? So I know that this is 1/8. Okay? So, if I take 1/2, so this whole thing is 1/2, right? If I take 1/2 minus 1/4 minus 1/8, I should get the area of the triangle here. I'll shade it in. Okay? I should get that area because I take half the square minus 1/4 minus 1/8. And if I do that, let's see, I convert everything to 8. So this is 4/8 minus 2/8. That's 2/8 minus 1/8. That gives me 1/8 left over. So either way, you get that the ratio of the area of triangle AMN to the ratio of the square is 1/8.